The Fantasy Football Heroes and Villains podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100x. That's right. Turn $5 into $500 in just one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away $100,000. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. D-Gens assemble. Welcome back to Fantasy Football Heroes and Villains. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, on a hump day is Mr. Andrew, the TD King. Rob, how we doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. I say this all the time, but it always amazes me how quickly the NFL season is going by. Already onto week 5 through 4 weeks, though, doing pretty well with the old fantasy, especially in the redraft leagues. Got a couple of undefeated teams, a couple of 2-2s, 3-1s. I think I only got one that's 1-3 currently. So
Nice.
Overall, good. Best ball's going well. So yeah, man. Excited. Always excited to talk some fantasy football. How about yourself? How's Dynasty, redraft, best ball going for you?
I do have an 0-4 team. I do not have any 4-0 teams, mostly 3-1, 2-2. So the majority of my leagues, I feel pretty good. Week 4 was absolutely fantastic. I'm in 18 or 19, between dynasty and redraft leagues. And I think I only lost 4. So pretty solid. Always feeling good about that. It's typically a back and forth from a split or, a couple more than the loss. Cause you're just spread so thin everywhere. You're just going in all sorts of different directions. But man, the best ball, the BBM advance rates were doubled in week 4. That was the best news. We went from 13 to 27 in a week. That feels good. Going into week 5, if we can keep the steam rolling here, going to be a fun finish. So yeah, week 4 was excellent. I am very excited and enjoying our conversation so far off screen, ready to keep it going on screen for the start and sit conversation here. Diving into the mailbag.
Yes. You want me to take some of these Discord questions I saw pop up over the last little bit here?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay. Also, we can't bypass over our Bears or your Bears and my Commanders play tomorrow night. Should be a pretty interesting game. We got Commanders who kind of play up and down to their competition. Bears who looked like they were going to rout the Broncos there for a second, and then it all comes tumbling down in the old Chi-Town. So it'll be an interesting Thursday night game to say the least. Any quick thoughts on that?
No comment. We didn't push a Super Bowl team to their limit. I don't feel good about tomorrow's game. It's a short week. I don't feel good about the Bears right now. I'd rather say less about them. It's not in the best of spirits.
Okay, well we'll see how that unfolds, but I do feel good about the game, though. Like I said, Commanders always seem to play up and down to their competition, which is why they played well against the Eagles, and then they'll probably be able to put up no points against the Bears, which never makes sense to me. But Riverboat Ron, or as people like to call him, Analytical Ron, doesn't follow the analytics very well. So we'll see what kind of dumbass decisions he makes tomorrow night.
I'm sure the Bears will give him plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, we'll see. On to some start sit questions. And again, these are from the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, please get in there. Ask questions away. It's not just Bruni and I, and the other fantasy guys answering questions. It is everybody in the channel answering each other's questions. So it is always helpful here. But I've answered a couple of these already on here. So Justin, let me just rapid fire some of these at you to answer. So Daquan, the great friend of the show, he asked me, he said, big Khalil Herbert game. Should I start Khalil Herbert over Alexander Madison this week in fantasy? So, yeah, of course, your Bears playing my Commanders, who run defense has been kind of middle of the pack so far this year. Last year they were really good, top 5. So, do you feel good about Khalil Herbert against Washington, or Alexander Madison plays the Chiefs? Could be a high scoring game. So, which one do you think you should start?
I think both those defenses are on the average side. Kansas City is better up against the run. I would probably avoid them. They've allowed the 8th fewest rushing yards this year. The Commandos, they're really not that far behind. They're 11th. So it's pretty even. I don't know. Khalil Herbert still feels like he is the preferred option there. I do like Madison's upside, but you're going to have Cam Akers start to sneak in there. I'll say to roll out Herbert again because I think this week, specifically in week 4, he really established himself as the guy that can carry the load. This is another game. If you look back to our show in the offseason, we were talking about Khalil Herbert. When he gets at least 18 touches, his numbers are much better, at least as far as efficiency standpoint and just the totals. Like when he gets the bulk, he puts out. In most games where he gets at least 18 touches, he has over 100 all-purpose yards. So I feel like he has gained more ground in that competition, but still recognizing it's a competition. And I think Cam Akers is kind of doing the same. He's sneaking up just the same as Roshan is, but I think Cam Akers is actually closer to Madison right now than Roshan is to Herbert. And that's just what I've seen. I know that we're both high on Roshan, but the numbers aren't there. Like the production just isn't there through 4 games.
I did see an interesting stat that said that they play Roshan a lot more when the game is within. Oh, I'm sorry, Herbert a lot more when the game's within 7. If this game gets a little out of hand for whatever reason, we may see more Roshan. I answered it with Alexander Madison. I just feel like they're utilizing him more in the passing game than the Bears are with Herbert. That's kind of what Roshan was brought in to do a little bit. So I said Madison. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that the two are that far apart as far as what their production will be this week. Who to start at tight end? This is from Time on Discord. Who to start at tight end, Ingram or Laporta? What say you?
Laporta.
Yep, 100%.
That's an easy one for me. Laporta's been excellent, even in week 1. I think. What was it? Last week he finished as I think tight end 15 or 16, but the 2 previous weeks he was in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, and Amon-Ra St. Brown may not play. He's iffy to play this week. So even with Williams coming, Jameson Williams coming back into the lineup, I still think Laporta rolls. So yeah, I mean, you're there with me. Daquan the Great again. He says with DK Metcalf on a bye week, I'm not sure who to start. I got Drake London, Robert Woods, or Romeo Doubs. I'm assuming he didn't say to pick 1 or 2, so I just picked 1. So Drake London, Romeo Doubs. Oh, I'm sorry, Romeo Doubs or Robert Woods.
I think we're going to be getting into a couple of these guys, so I'll prioritize them in Doubs and Drake London. I would say that Robert Woods is the odd man out. Between those top 2, I would probably go Romeo Doubs.
That is exactly what I said. Romeo Doubs as well. Surprisingly, has multiple games over 15 plus PPR points this year. I really like Doubs again this week. I would say Drake London if Ritter could get the ball anywhere that somebody can catch it, and if they were throwing the ball more. But
London has touchdowns. He just doesn't have volume.
Yeah, I mean, and the Falcons just like to run the ball too. I mean, Jesus, Bijan Robinson was their leading receiver last week as well. So, yeah, I agree with you there. PK Rag on Discord again says, need y'all help. I have Kyron Williams, Achan, Gibbs, Ridley, and Breece Hall. I'll read those again to you after this. He said, can only start 3 out of the 5. This is full PPR. So again,
Gibbs is the odd man out. Gibbs is the odd man out.
Gotcha. So Kyron Williams, Achan, Ridley, and Breece Hall then. So who else are you leaving out?
It was Jahmyr Gibbs is who I was leaving out.
Well,
so
he
the
has
other
5. He can only start 3. So you need to leave 2 out.
Oh, I'm sorry. So there was
Kyron Williams, Achan, Ridley, and Breece Hall.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, even though they said the Breece Hall is no longer on a snap count, still like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great matchup up against the Broncos this week, but he still is splitting carries with Dalvin Cook. I mean, look at the snaps, look at the carries. Even with that, they're still going to divide and conquer because they can't pass the ball. Even despite, again, it's a great matchup this week, but I would still fade him. I like Ridley more. They've obviously made him a priority in the offense with either targets or high value targets in the red zone. And then Achane, I mean, the potential is there for him to break out again this week. It's a very good matchup. And then who was the first one that I felt like was a home run instantly? Yeah, Kyron Williams. Yeah, just based on the role, you have to start him. Matthew Stafford's getting no touchdowns because of Kyron Williams, and even if like he adverts away from that this week, like he's still going to be a top 12 option every week until they get somebody else in there to compete with touches for him.
Okay. I had not answered this one. For me personally, it's Gibbs and then either Ridley or Kyron Williams. I can't choose between the two. I'm having a hard time doing so. I think it's probably Ridley. I know it's crazy to say that, but I don't know. Christian Kirk's getting more love currently. I know Ridley had the touchdown last week, but he's playing a different defense this week. The Bills defense is good. So I don't know. I think it could be, Williams, Achane, and Breece for me. But yeah, I don't really have a strong lean either way there as of right now.
The Giants have the 6th worst rush defense per PFF.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Both of us like Achane. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were saying that you didn't like Achane.
No. I like Achane. It's Williams or Ridley is who I would leave out.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's hit up the chat here. We've got a couple of questions.
Oh, okay. Sure. Do it too.
Hidden X is asking, should he trade Ayuk and Swift for Tyreek Hill? I don't hate that, but I would prefer to give up a different receiver and Swift. And Swift, man, like he's like literally probably the best running back right now in the league, like over 6 yards per carry. Ayuk, still very good. Like I want to hold Ayuk. I don't necessarily want to get rid of him. So I would like to do this trade maybe with a different receiver and Swift for Hill. But again, like I don't know, like if you have a different backup and maybe Ayuk, I don't know. What do you think about this one? I mean, I think it's a fair trade, but I think the upside for Ayuk and Swift is a lot higher than people would perceive.
Yeah, I'd like to see the rest of the team just to kind of know what he has at receiver and running back there. Ayuk's very interesting because he's getting good stats. His grading on PFF grades very well as far as like getting open and being wide open. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, the problem with the Niners offense, and we talked about this in the offseason, is that there's so many guys that there's just guys that get left out every week. So you're going to have bumps and bruises with Ayuk along the way, unless you have CMC. CMC is like the only Niner that is going to get his every single week. I mean, we just saw Debo pretty much be a decoy last week, which we kind of should have known that a little bit based off his, injury that he had coming in. But yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't do the trade, but if you do, it is not egregious at all. I think it's very fair of a trade. But again, I'd like to see who else he has on the team. Let's go here.
We got Ventura asking, would you trade James Cook, James Conner, Devontae Smith, and Tyler Lockett, big offer, for Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, and Zach Moss, full PPR 14? I mean, I'm okay with it, but I just don't think it's needed.
Yeah, I don't think so either, personally. Like, I don't really like James Conner, but James Cook and Devontae Smith for me are the ones that kind of keep me from not wanting to trade them. James Cook just got his first touchdown in the NFL.
Been playing good, dude. Tyler Lockett's scoring touchdowns.
I don't know. With Lockett, though, like if JSN comes on, JSN is kind of like an end of season guy for me where I think he can come on and be good. So I personally wouldn't do it. But again, I don't really think that it's going to kill you if you do make the trade. I just don't. I really don't like the Zach Moss.
Look what he says. His team would be Khalil Herbert and Zach Moss, with his receivers being JJ, Addison, Tank, and Pickens. That's not good enough. You're better off the way you are.
Yeah, plus you'd have to start. I mean, in this aspect, it looks like you're starting Jefferson and Addison. They're on the exact same team. So one of those guys is most likely, obviously, probably Addison is not going to have a good game every single week. So yeah, I personally wouldn't. You know what I
Nice.
personally would do though?
Oh, I think I might.
I would personally check out Game Time.
I
Game
knew you
Time,
would.
if you guys want
You
to get
dog.
some tickets, got to go to Game Time. Again, I've talked about multiple times being on Game Time, what I'm looking for. My wife and I have not, since the new baby, really had a night out together. So I went on to Game Time, perused around a little bit, and was checking out some theater, some comedy stuff, maybe a sporting event. My wife likes football. She's not like hardcore into it, but she has won back-to-back fantasy championships in the league I run. Again, hey, does she have a good teacher? Yeah, I, I I'll take a little bit of the credit, right? But I can't fully take the credit. But on Game Time, was checking around. Again, we always talk about this, how simple it is to maneuver around Game Time. Find what you're looking for at a great price. The stress of all the hidden stuff, the fees, the how to get to this and that, it's not there with Game Time like you do with other ticketing apps. Game Time, you do get the lowest price guaranteed. You get flash deals for last minute tickets, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. With killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having. Gotta get in here, everybody. I mean, I cannot stress this enough how awesome Game Time is. It is the place for last minute ticket deals. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. You get images of the seat before you buy it. So you don't have to worry about, oh man, I get to this event and I'm behind a hidden structure, or I'm behind a fucking wall, or I got 18 rows of crap in front of me. Like, you'll be able to see what you'll be looking at with their with the ability to see your seats before you buy them. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. Again, as I alluded to, fastest growing ticket app for a reason. Buy your tickets in a matter of seconds. 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, use promo code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Hall of Fame bets. Another thing that is fantastic. Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smart this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sport betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, soccer bet with historical data and stats. Enter any parlay idea into the Hall of Fame bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an unexpected probability for the entire parlay. So you can put a parlay together and it might tell you, yeah, this parlay is going to hit. Or you can put one together and they're going to say, no, you need to change X, Y, and Z here because you are going off the rails. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which players have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame bets app or visit hofbets.com and use our promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets.
All right, we're back in it here. We're diving into the fantasy football mailbag. Week 5, start or sits. Playing some heroes, playing some villains. We've got Josh Hart from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord asking, hey guys, I've been starting Deshaun Watson, but I need a new starter this week with him being hurt and on a bye. It's a single QB league, and I drafted Watson and Love and was able to pick up Stroud off waivers this week. Who do I start this week, Stroud or Love, and who is the better option for the rest of season if Watson is out long or if I need to trade him? So we've got CJ Stroud playing the Falcons in Atlanta, and we've got Jordan Love also on the road in Las Vegas playing the Raiders. What are your thoughts here, sir?
Ooh, so just for this week, we've
been riding the Stroud train. We've did it 2 weeks in a row.
We have been, yes. Atlanta's defense, okay, decent. Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas defense a little bit behind them. This is tough because I like both offenses a little bit. You know what? I mean, until Stroud really shows us that he's slowing down, probably going to take Stroud in this scenario. Rest of season, very similar for Stroud and Love for me. Again, like both offenses. The thing that I don't like about Stroud is the offensive line. Excuse me.
Oh, it's real bad right now.
Yeah, it is so bad, and it's just getting worse. So my gut tells me to take Love rest of season, but man, Stroud is just making good strides. Stroud strides, right? It's a good fantasy team name. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, again, gut says Love, my heart says Stroud. So take that for what it is. But Love's offensive line just better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick between. I guess gun to my head.
Always with the violence.
Man. I don't know. Yeah, I always choose violence. Let's go Stroud. I mean, he's just clicking on all cylinders. Tank Dell's awesome. Nico Collins is great. They got other weapons in there. The offensive line is definitely a concern, but that could lead to some organic running by Stroud as well. So I'll say Stroud, but I do think Love is a very good contention play there.
Yeah, Atlanta ranks 13th best for coverage on PFF, and the Raiders rank 19th. However, the Raiders have allowed the third most fantasy points to the quarterback position, and Atlanta has allowed the 11th most. So both are good matchups for the quarterback position. They're both playing on the road, so they don't have like the that home field advantage per se. But I agree with you. I still like Stroud more. Love has been very good though. Like he's been like statistically, I believe like top 5. He's been a top 5 fantasy QB through these first 4 games. I don't know if that's actually who he is for this season, but what I really like about Stroud is that despite how bad the offensive line has been, he's yet to throw an interception. And he's thrown at least 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games. Jordan Love threw 3 passing touchdowns up against Atlanta and only for 150 passing yards. So if Stroud really gets going in this game, it could be another big performance for him. I'll say that he has more upside this week because the Packers can probably really run the ball into the ground quite a bit, kill a lot of clock up against a Raiders defense that's also very bad up against the run.
Yeah, and I just looked at both of their playoff schedules just to kind of see if there was a tiebreaker, but they both have pretty good playoff schedules. Packers play week 15, Tampa Bay, week 16, Carolina, week 17, Minnesota. Those are definitely some defenses you can pass on. The Texans play the at Tennessee, then Cleveland, then Tennessee. So you get 2 Tennessees in there, and they've just been getting blown up in the secondary. So both of them good, but again, I mean, yeah, it is tough to choose, but I guess it's Stroud.
All right, 3 weeks in a row. We'll see if Stroud can do it for us. All right, next up, I Can See Your Boobs from Reddit asks, Pacheco has showed up the past 2 weeks. Are we betting he continues to perform well? He finished as RB6 last week and RB12 the week before that. I have the option of him versus Minnesota or Raheem Mostert versus the Giants. I've had Mostert on my bench the last 2 weeks in favor of Pacheco. Ouch. Still butthurt about week 3. Yep. Okay. But I'm still 3-1, 12-team PPR. So Isaiah Pacheco at Minnesota or Mostert versus the Giants. Again, Giants very bad up against the run. Mostert did not perform well after that big week, though. I mean, are we buying that he bounces back? I feel like he's the answer here, but I think that these are both like very good options. But if this is all you're down to, I don't know. I feel like Miami's going to put up more points than the Chiefs.
Yeah, as you alluded to, very good problem to have here. I like both these guys. I'll probably go Mostert. I think that, obviously the 2 fumbles hurt him last week. I think they're going to re-give him the work again this week, kind of let him get over those 2 fumbles. Achane obviously has been a very, very good as well, but I did take notice that Mostert was out there on pass plays. He did catch a pass or 2 as well. So I think in PPR, Mostert's probably the way to go, but I think either way, you start one of these guys and feel good about it.
I agree with you. I'm going with Mostert here, but we've got Reese in the chat asking Madison or Pacheco this week. If it's 12-team PPR like this question that we just answered, I think we're both going to be leaning Pacheco.
Yes, Pacheco.
All right, so spot on there, Reese. Your suspicions were correct. Calvo, would y'all trade Amon-Ra for DeAndre Swift? Receivers are CD, Pittman, and Jamar. Okay. My RBs are Madison and Rashad. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Pittman's off to a great start. I think Jamar Chase bounces back. CD has been solid. I think that, Amon-Ra being hurt right now may make this trade a little bit more difficult to close. But I think if you can pull it off, I think it's a move to make. What do you think, Andrew?
I'll still keep Amon-Ra. I just think that in PPR, I mean, he doesn't say it's PPR, but I'm going to assume PPR. I'd rather take Amon-Ra, say Brown. That dude's a dog. I like DeAndre Swift as well, but at any given time, loading all this work on him, I don't think actually is good for him with his body type. I think he could potentially get lit up a little bit too much and have some injuries come along the way. Obviously, he wasn't the main guy to start out the year. That was Kenny Gainwell. So at any time, I feel like they could really just slot in Kenny Gainwell again and kind of utilize both them, more of a 50-50 split. So I will personally keep Amon-Ra.
That's fair. That's fair, and that may very well how it unfolds. But the way they've been giving him the ball and how efficient he's been, it's definitely something worth looking into. And right now, yeah, I mean, if Amon-Ra's hurt or banged up and he's going to miss a week, that's the time to sell. Especially if you're going to get equitable value. All right. So it sounds like we like Mostert, we like Pacheco, Madison, so. All right. DeAndre Hopkins is playing like dog shit. Oh, sorry. This is Ryan, the Texas Ranger from Reddit. Loving the names tonight. DeAndre Hopkins is playing like dog shit. I repeat. My buddy, who is a Titans fan, offered me Thielen for Hopkins and Antonio Gibson. Should I hold or make that move? I'm 2-2, and Thielen has well outperformed Hopkins, and Gibson is also in the doghouse. Not specifically dog shit, but in the doghouse. 12-team PPR. I think even an Adam Thielen slanderous such as Andrew here, the TD King, will agree that's a deal to make.
As much as I don't like Thielen, I'm going to keep on hating him. Let's go Hopkins and Antonio Gibson. If they really like Thielen that much, they would not be out there pursuing a wide receiver one from multiple teams. They're telling us that they want to add somebody better to this offense, and Thielen's kind of going to be the secondary guy in that aspect. Don't love Bryce Young. He has been lackluster at best. The Panthers could fucking just shove this in at any point. They're just not good. So I can't. I'll give Thielen his due for now. He has been excellent. A lot better than what I thought he would be to start the season. But the Panthers are telling us that they want to add somebody else. That's not good for Thielen. He's not just gonna. They're not gonna go out. I mean, today I just read that they are reaching out for T. Higgins. If T. Higgins joins them, you think that they're gonna choose to
that'd
use
be awesome.
Adam Thielen more?
That'd be great. You're right. You're right. That would not be great for him. But do you really think that gets pulled off though? I don't think that happens.
I mean, I don't think it has to be T. Higgins for it to still be somebody that's better than Adam Thielen.
Who's it going to be? Do you think Devontae Adams is coming to Carolina? I don't think so, pal.
I don't think so either.
Who else is coming there? Chase Claypool, your boy?
Oh, yeah, my boy. Okay, yeah. I remember I said that he wouldn't be on the team at some point at the Fantasy Football Expo when we were talking about hot takes.
You did.
My hot take looking like it's going to be pretty good now.
Hey, I was on pace for the 10 touchdowns really quick.
Right.
I was. He's got more touchdowns than Deontay Johnson has in 2 years.
Well, I mean, Deontay Johnson currently hurt right now, so how dare you?
I know. I'll invoke his name if I want to. I've committed, sir. I'm pot committed. I'll invoke his name if I damn well please. Deontay the third Johnson. I don't know if he's a third, but
so Anyway, Ryan, the Texas Ranger. In my eyes, you should keep Hopkins and Gibson.
You know what I say to the Texas Ranger? I say you got yourself a goddamn deal. I say you got yourself a goddamn deal there, boy. I'll take that. I mean, that's just some hyperbole that Andrew came up with. This whole there's a player coming in here because they said that they need one. Well, of course they need one. Look around. Adam Thielen's the best that you got. They should have did this shopping way before the start of the season. Okay, what the hell? Not cool.
Yeah,
all right.
No, I get that. I get that.
Steve Hirschberger, and also DeAndre Hopkins is just bad, and Antonio Gibson is just bad. You're not getting anything back.
I don't think
you're not getting anything back.
I don't think Hopkins is bad. Anything. I think Ryan Tannehill is bad.
Sure, you're not wrong there either. Bad QB, bad situation. All right, Steve Hirschberger from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord asks, it sounds like Cooper Kupp is back this week. Yes, he is coming back this week. I have him and Puka. Do I start both of them? Puka is valued as wide receiver 9 this week, and I can't imagine him living up to that value with Kupp in the lineup. My other receivers are Lamb, Waddle, and Ayuk. Oh, all right. I was going to say 10-team PPR. Okay, that's fair.
Not sure Cooper Kupp is back this week. He's pushing to come back. I honestly really believe that he is not going to play.
He wasn't even limited today. He practiced in full today.
I just don't think he's going to yet.
Personally. Well, with those receivers, then he's got to sit him if that's where you're going here. He's got to sit Cooper Kupp.
If it comes to it and Cooper Kupp isn't playing, then yeah, I mean, roll with Puka. If they're both playing, just buyers beware. I know it's really hard to sit Kupp, and I completely understand that. But buyers beware that he could be a little limited. They're not going to want to go out there and get him hurt right away. They want to make sure he is Cooper Kupp level. So I still personally would probably start Puka. But yeah, I mean,
how much sugar did you put in your Puka Kool-Aid this morning?
Hey man, I've been on Puka all the time. The Puka train is real, man. I've been riding that all season.
You're driving it. No, you are driving the Puka train, and along the way, you're kind of like dusting off your monocle. You're taking the sip of the Puka Kool-Aid. You're constantly pouring that sugar in. Yeah, exactly. Would you like some more Puka?
It has. I'll tell you what, man. I have in the only dynasty league I'm in. The 3 wide receivers I drafted in this year's draft were Puka Nacua, Tank Dell, and Zay Flowers. Feel really good about all 3 of those. Yeah, very much so.
My man. I've gotten just about all of them. So I've gotten me some JSN. I've got me some Puka. I've got me some Tank. Got me some Zay. Who am I leaving out?
Quentin Johnston.
I don't have any Quentin Johnston. No, I do not.
Okay.
Addison. I do not have any Quentin Johnston. I do not have any Addison either. No. So there you go. Addison's probably an important one, but I like all those other guys. JSN's going to erupt at some point.
Very much so.
Back on the path here. I mean, I'm good starting Kupp, but I would say if there's a week to sit him, it's still probably this week. If they're both 100% healthy, I would sit Waddle. Waddle only has 4 catches so far in each game, so
gotcha.
Good matchup, but also I think the run game could take over there.
Yeah, you want to tell the good people about something?
About something?
Yeah, about where they could potentially earn some high quality dollars
at our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy.
You're damn right.
They have a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 in Pick'em Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100x payout. From now until October 4th, Underdog is matching 100% of first deposits up to, wait for it, $500. And Underdog is giving away $100,000 every Sunday. $100,000 Sundays continues Underdog Fantasy. They'll give away $100K to 10 players. That's $10K each. Toss out my Underdog play of the week. DJ Moore, give me some yardage. Give me some yardage tomorrow night. When you sign up on Underdog, use promo code SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, and we're diving back into the mailbag. Andrew, we've got Rachel D'Angelo from Twitter asking, this pick is for my flex spot. I have Tank Dell, Romeo Doubs, James Conner available to start. A couple of players on buys leave me with this decision. Who is the best start for week 5, 12-team PPR? So James Conner versus Cincinnati, Tank Dell at Atlanta, or Romeo Doubs at Las Vegas. Talked about a couple of these names already. Let's start with the villain here. Who's the odd man out? Who is the villain of this group this week? Who's going to dud? Because all these guys are actually ranked like pretty well this week.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like talking about a dud. I'm not sure any of these guys can really be a dud. I'm not a James Conner guy personally, but he's getting all the work. Cincinnati, not very good stopping the run. So that's interesting. Tank Dell, of course, also interesting. He has been doing his due out there. Didn't really convert last week, but different defense this week. He'll be facing in the Atlanta Falcons. I think that Jesse Bates will be on Nico Collins. So that'll leave Tank Dell at a very favorable matchup, I assume. Same thing with Romeo Doubs. I mean, just Romeo Doubs has been excellent throughout the year. I think that they are going to have to put up some points here because, I don't know if anybody knows, but Packers are playing the Raiders, and Raiders' number one wide receiver, Devontae Adams, used to play for the said Packers. So look for Devontae Adams to have himself a game, show up and show out against his old team. So I do think, again, Green Bay's going to have to put up some points. Man, this one's really tough, to be honest. This is a very good question. I guess I'm going to roll with, oh, shit. This is really tough. I guess I'll roll with 10. Man, it has to be Connor, doesn't it? I want it to be Tank, but I think it has to be Connor just because of the workload he's going to get. Very tough. I think it's a coin flip for these guys. For me, I think you could slot in any of these guys and feel good about it.
I'm gonna say of these three, and I like Tank Dell. I like him this week, but of these three, between him, James Conner, and Romeo Doubs, he's the villain. And I'm gonna say that James Conner is probably the best performer here. I'm gonna say he's the hero of the group. I'm gonna say that he's actually gonna score the most points. Cincinnati bad up against the run. They're allowing a ton of fantasy points to quarterbacks. I mean, this Arizona team has nothing to play for. And honestly, right now, like, the Bengals need a win so bad. I think this game could get into the 50s for a game total. I think that we could get to like 54 because I could see both sides putting up points. I'm going to say James Conner is the most likely guy of these three to get 2 touchdowns this week. I'm not saying to throw it in any parlays, but I'm saying he's going to get that work and high value treatment in the red zone. All right, we've got Jim Tanner in the chat asking Breece Hall and Wan'Dale Robinson for Michael Thomas and Raheem Mostert. I will take the Thomas and Mostert side of that trade.
It's tough.
Mostert's still scored the second most fantasy points right now at the running back position. I know, obviously, heavily weighted week 3, but still in an offense that's going to score a ton of points. Wan'Dale, what are we even doing there? Like, I don't even know how is that guy even in this trade?
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if it was somebody different for with Breece Hall instead of Wan'Dale. So maybe you just revisit that person's team and look for somebody else to potentially do it. If so, I'm fine getting rid of Thomas and Mostert because, again, I think they're going to utilize Achane down the stretch here. If that's the case, I don't think anybody takes Breece Hall off the field. I can definitely see Achane taking Mostert off the field. Michael Thomas, well-known, not Michael Thomas backer here, but don't like Wan'Dale either. So just solely on Breece Hall, I think I'd take it.
I have to push back on Breece Hall. Why would we assume that he's going to get a ton of action in a season that's probably far gone already? Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back. And even if he is, the situation is going to be way too fucked up for him to even come back. So I just don't know why we're expecting Breece Hall to just get a ton of work. Obviously, yeah, the team's going to want to be competitive. This week, they have a very good matchup. I would actually want to sell Breece Hall after he plays the Broncos. You can probably get a better return. I don't know. I like the Raheem Mostert, Michael Thomas side. I think Breece Hall Breece Hall is going to have an average rest of the season. Wan'Dale Robinson is not on my radar whatsoever. He's droppable in my opinion. Yeah. All right. Got a couple more questions here. Miles Sanders or McLaughlin, give us some more context, please. Evan Ingram or Laporta. We actually answered this question already. We have Laporta. Let's see. Is Dak droppable? Before Andrew blurts out, yes, nobody wants to trade for him in my league. And I picked up Stroud last week. Just hang on to him. Just hang on to him. I think he gives us his bench a lot. Wait, bench 1. Oh, just same guy, different question. Bench 1. Olave, Watson, or Garrett Wilson. The answer, I want to say Garrett Wilson, but I can't because of that matchup this week. Golly.
I'm probably going to go Christian Watson here. As much as Olave scares me, though, not an awesome matchup for him. And Derek Carr's AC joint sprain is real. I mean, Olave did not have a good game last week. So I want to say Olave, but my gut tells me
to say Olave.
Yeah, I'll probably say Christian Watson.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one that wants to say it more than me. But now that he's back, they're going to be looking to use him. They're going to be looking to get him involved. And he did score a touchdown even with limited targets. Who do I start at my flex? Miles Sanders or McLaughlin? I'm going to go with McLaughlin. I don't love the matchup up against the Jets, but I'm liking the usage. I have not gotten an update on Javonte, but I can't imagine he's going to play this week.
I don't think he's going to, so it's probably McLaughlin for me as well.
Yeah, rest of the season, I mean, you still want to hang on to both of those guys. I'm not trying to get rid of Miles Sanders by any means, so hang on to Miles Sanders. But yeah, McLaughlin, a nice streamer these next couple of weeks here. All right, let's dig back into the bag. We're going to skip that one because we just talked about Sam Laporta. Wow, this one very similar. Pick two of these three receivers. One for my last wide receiver spot and one for my last flex. I forgot to mention the name because now that would make sense. So the commissioner of your mom's fantasy from your mom's house asks, pick two of these three receivers, one for my wide receiver and one for my last flex. Tell your mom not to wait up 12-team PPR. There you go. Delivered. Go that guy.
That is excellent.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. That's all I can say in rebuttal to that person. Okay, so Garrett Wilson at Denver, Christian Watson at Las Vegas, Nico Collins at Atlanta. Getting Nico Collins into a similar situation here with Watson and Wilson that we were just discussing. I think I would leave out Watson here.
Yep, fully agree. Yep, Wilson and Collins, let's ride.
Yeah, so we both agree that Wilson was ahead of Watson already in the last question. Adding Collins in also above. Would you start, if it was Collins or Wilson, who would you start? Just between the two?
Collins.
I think that's right, but I think it's very close. Would y'all start Waller over Musgraves? What? What? Am I missing something? Is Waller hurt?
What do you mean? Would you start Waller over No, he's not hurt, but he sucks right now. Yeah.
Musgraves was taken out of last week. He's he's a key reason why I lost one of my few matchups. last week.
You're saying Musgrave? Yeah. Musgrave is. I haven't seen anything so far about it. I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. But I mean, regardless, I still start Waller.
Well, apparently, if he gets a bump on the head, he's out of the game. He's a punk ass bitch. What the hell, man?
Him going out last week won me a league, so I was fine with that. Or won me
the week before.
Yeah, it really helped.
I bet it did. Oh yeah, I bet it did. Well, it was enough for me to get him into my lineup, so it was poison, is what it was. Andrew, it was poison production. He fooled us all, including myself.
Also, shout out Seahawks defense. I needed 24 points from them to win a matchup. They got 27 points. I was elated.
I needed Geno to get like exactly the same amount as CJ Stroud, who was on my bench. Yeah. But Stroud won me the week before that. All right. Jake Aldenwise from Twitter asks, QB question for you guys. I have Watson on a bye and need a second starter for my Superflex team. I have Tannehill or Dobbs available. Dobbs' numbers have been sneaky good, but I'm still scared to start him. Tannehill has Indy, which I think is an okay matchup, and I'm betting that Tennessee bounces back. Right now, I have Tannehill as the starter. Should I leave him or swap for Dobbs? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Swap for Dobbs.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Way to get it. Way to nail it there, Andrew.
Sorry. I'm right.
Commit to the bid. Unreal. Yeah, this is an easy one. Like, Dobbs has been way better, and he's bad. He's not even a good quarterback, and he's way better production-wise in comparison to Tannehill. And, yeah, Tannehill could have a good week. I mean, the Titans may bounce back. They may absolutely crush the Colts somehow. But he could also do that. The team could do that, and he not have a passing touchdown. So that's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
And, Cincinnati, 6th worst coverage rating per PFF. Good matchup for Dobbs. And they'll be playing from behind. Like Bengals are going to be aggressive in that game. Like they're gonna come in to railroad them for sure. So I expect the game narrative to be positive all the way through. All right, we got Scramble to the Median from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord asking, do you all like Rashee Rice? I can start him or Jaden Reed this week. It's a deep league, and I'm 2-2, so I desperately need a win. I have Keenan on a bye, and this is what I'm left with. What's the plan? 14-team PPR. And I think I read that wrong. It's Drake London or Rashee Rice, excuse me. So Drake London versus Houston or Rashee Rice at Minnesota.
Ooh.
That's also difficult. I think Rashee Rice is the answer, but I'm nervous about saying that that's the answer because Rashee Rice plays like half the snaps. So that's like not always the best situation to buy into, but it is the Chiefs and Kadarius Toney underwhelming. All these other receivers, take your pick, throw some darts at the wall. They've all been pretty underwhelming. Even Rashee Rice. I mean, it's not amazing because he's not playing a ton. And the best guy there is still Travis Kelce, who's only going to get healthier.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the nail, right? It's on the Chiefs offense for their wide receivers. It's throw a dart at the wall and hope that that's the guy. I don't want to go into a matchup feeling that way. So I'll start London knowing that there's going to be some off-target throws. He may not get a whole lot of targets, but at least he is the guy there. That makes me feel better that he has more opportunity to potentially get targets than Rashee Rice does. So I will take London reluctantly because both of those players just are kind of hit or miss. But I'll still take London.
Is the Cowboys defense still a start over Washington? Defeated against the Bears? No. I mean, who's the Cowboys play this week?
Cowboys play San Francisco, so definitely Washington.
Oh, yeah, damn. I don't know, man. Cowboys defense has been like the best. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, but the Bears are the worst.
No, their offense isn't the worst. I mean, Fields put up 4 passing touchdowns last week. Don't you start with that.
On the Broncos. Come on, stop it.
You're telling me you can stop the run? You telling me you don't bleed yards on the ground, son?
I'm just saying that. I mean, if I got to choose between a defense that's playing very good, but playing potentially the best team in the NFL over a pretty good defense playing against a bad team, I'll take Washington in this scenario. And that's not, and that's like a non-biased opinion, by the way. I'd be honest with the people. Like if I thought Washington wasn't a good defense to play, but they're going to be a good defense to play. You do remember the Cowboys defense? Cowboys defense got killed by the Cardinals, right? Nobody saw that coming, huh? You're telling me the Cowboy defense is going to be much better against the Niners? Stop it.
I think Washington can probably get more takeaways. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I still think that the Cowboys could allow less points, but not get takeaways. I think that Cowboys and Niners game could be lower scoring still, but I also think that the Bears and DC game could be high scoring. So I guess that's where I'm coming from there.
Yeah, so didn't no touchdown scored the last time Washington and the Bears played? Wasn't there no touchdown scored, something like that, or one touchdown?
0, yeah, and it was also a Thursday night game. It was also a Thursday night game.
So well, watch out for that.
Taylor Heineke was the quarterback, I believe. So was Justin Fields. Alvin Kamara or Dan Spencer from Twitter asked, this is our last question, then we're going to head out. Alvin Kamara or Kyrene Williams, 12-team PPR. My other RB is Pollard, so obviously can't sit him. And I have James Cook in my flex. Good running backs. I guess it's easier with Kamara, available later. I'm 4-0 and looking to keep the gas on the pedal. Thanks for the help. Kamara at New England. Kyrene Williams versus the Eagles. Both have pretty good run defenses. I mean, Kamara all his love from the PPR value last week. That's kind of tough. I mean, he got like no yardage, but he got like 13 catches.
Yeah. It is a tougher one here. I'm gonna go Kamara. You literally just said what I was about to say is, I mean, he got fucking a ton of targets and catches. Like, and Derek Carr's arm is still hurting, right? Like that's an issue. He's not going to want to bomb it downfield. He's going to lean on Kamara being close to the vest. And I think that Williams is going to run into a Philadelphia defense that, again, is very good against the run. He's getting a lot of the work, so I like Williams in that aspect. But how many high-value touches is he truly going to get in this game? I mean, this might be one of those games where we look at the Rams like, this is the Rams we thought that they would be before the season. They may actually be bad, right? Like, so, for me, it's Kamara just because of what role he's playing in an offense where the quarterback cannot currently throw the ball very far downfield.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that he scores a touchdown this week as well. So give me Kamara. I also just don't think that the Pats are amazing. I have no idea what quarterback's going to start this week. If it's Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. Call that, by the way. I said Mac Jones wouldn't make it to week 5. It's week 5, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bailey Zappi. But regardless, no matter which one of them are starting, their offense isn't going to be on the field long. Like they're not just going to have prolonged drives. They're not going to be a huge threat. So I do think Kamara in that offense is on the field quite a bit, and he will soak up some fantasy love because of it. All right, we are going to head out, folks. I think we have one more.
One more.
Fast on the trigger. What do we got?
Which 3 running backs do I start? ETN, HN, Jonathan Taylor, which I'm assuming that's if he plays, Breece Hall, James Cook, and Kyron Williams. So first off, trade some of these guys. So you guys, I'd love to see what your wide receivers look like if you have all these guys at your disposal.
Right.
But start 3. It doesn't say
Justin
it's PPR
Watson.
or not, but we're gonna assume that it is PPR. For me, immediately James Cook, ETN, and HN. Those are the 3 guys.
Yeah. Instant agree. Yeah. I mean, out of the gate, Taylor and Hall were out. We just touched on why Kyrene could have a tough time this week. So yeah, ETN, HN, and Cook.
6-man league. That makes a lot more sense to me. That this is what's happening.
What are you doing, Julian? You got to stick around here more. We got to rub off on you a little bit. And you stick around long enough.
Like that. Somebody
maybe
clip that.
Shut the fuck up. Maybe we get you in a league even. One of these, one of these 12-team, PPR leagues we're always talking about.
Got to put on the big boy pants. Get out of that 6-man.
It might be his work, league. They may have, I'm 0-4. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
The fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop it. He hit me with that one right in the face.
Yikes.
Don't throw salami at me.
You know what, Julian, if you aren't in our SGPN Discord, get in there, send the team through and let us help you make at least looking at make some trades. Because if you're 0-4 and you're in a 6-man league and you got some rough stuff going on with the team, let us help you. Get in the SGPN Discord, fire that team away for us to look at.
And if you hit us up on Twitter, we are available. Like we'll drink with you on FaceTime. Like if you needed help, like with the drinking problem of this side of the issue, we're there for you. So just hit us up on Twitter. Our handles are below. We're always able to help you through any degeneracy. And right now, I gotta imagine like bourbon is on the table. 6-man league 0-4. My God,
we'll help you,
honey. I don't want to talk about it. Going to bed. Yeah. All right, very good. All right, we're gonna head out. Everybody, take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.